fourth annual Drifter Fest, the Burt Griggs Memorial Jam, will happen on Saturday, September 14th at the Refinery in downtown Charleston. Today, I talk one-on-one with the founder of the fest, Lorrie Griggs, for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Lorrie Griggs, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Hello, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just great. I know that you obviously contacted me a couple of weeks ago in regards to the fourth annual Drifter Fest, which is the Burt Griggs Memorial Jam. And obviously I should mention that you actually are the organizer of this particular event, which is scheduled for this Saturday, September 14th at the Refinery Amphitheater in downtown Charleston. So tell me, Ms. Lorrie, what's new, what's now with the Drifter Fest?
Okay, well, it's an annual memorial festival in honor of my late husband, and he was a big music guy, and so having a concert in his memory was kind of the first thing that came to mind. And we started out, I had a small little one over at the poorhouse the first year right after he passed away, and a bunch of his friends' bands played, and now we kind of grow it each year, and we're excited to have the Rolling Stones saxophonist Carl Denson headlining with his Tiny Universe band, along with The Reckoning, which is a local Grateful Dead band, and Junko Partner, who plays rock and roll and funk, as well as Just Groove is playing between the bands, and he does a little bit of, funk and rock and roll as well. So it's going to be kind of a jammy good time.
Oh, absolutely. And let me ask you this, Ms. Lorrie. You talked about obviously the first festival being, the first event that is being over at the poorhouse on James Island right there on Maybank Highway. So how have you been able to grow this particular festival from the poorhouse to now?
Well, it's just kind of been word of mouth, and bands were booking. When we moved it over to the Refinery, obviously that was a larger space, so we were getting a larger bands. The first one just had local bands playing, and now we have Carl Denson's Tiny Universe is a national performing artist, and we're having the local bands support it just to bring in the community, and it's just growing by word of mouth, and partnering with Ear for Music, who promotes all the music in town, a good bit of it, as well as the Refineries being such a cool place to see music. People want to come out and hang out because it's a nice open air outdoor amphitheater.
Absolutely. You touched on something very profound just a minute ago, Ms. Lorrie, but you talked about music. What is the state of local music here in the Low Country, as you know it?
Oh, wow. When I moved here, we didn't have a lot of national touring acts coming through. I mean, this was about 15 years ago. And I moved from Atlanta, and I was just so oh, am I going to like any music? But, what I discovered was tons of local talent around the Low Country. And there were so many good musicians that were in bands, and they were in several bands, same bands, different bands, playing different types of music. And many were in multiple bands. And so I think that there's just a great community here, and the music scene has really grown. And now we're getting a lot of national touring artists coming through all the time. I mean, there's honestly so much music going on, competing every weekend. If there's a show at the Refinery, there's a show at the Poorhouse, there's a show at Windjammer, and there's really some type of music for everyone at any time on any given night.
Oh, absolutely. And if your husband were alive today, what type of music would he be adapted to right now locally?
Oh, wow. We went to see a lot of music when he was alive, and, he loved going to see the bands that we are actually having perform. He liked jam bands a lot. He liked rock and roll. He liked funk and blues. And so, a little bit of everything, but we also have a music-inspired T-shirt company, Drifter Merch, and that was inspired by us going to see all these concerts and touring and enjoying the music scene. And so we do designs that are inspired by different bands that we follow, and it's kind of the Grateful Dead scene of Shakedown Street is where we sell a lot of our T-shirts, as well as at music events around town, from everything from Party at the Point. We've done Jam on the Water cruises, as well as the Folly Beach Street festivals.
Wow, that is so amazing. Which genre of music, Ms. Lorrie, inspires you today?
I'm a jam band fan for sure. I mean, Widespread Panic is my go-to band as well. I love Fish. And one I've really been getting into lately is Goose,
Mm,
which is a new band on the jam band scene. Well, not new, but um, they're up and coming, but they've been growing so fast that they're getting a lot of recognition right now.
wow. So I know that your festival's coming up obviously this week, but what up and coming music bands would you like to bring to the Drifter Fest next year?
Oh wow, there's so many. I mean, it's interesting because I sent a list over to my partner at the Refinery, Rob Lamble, who books for Ear for Music, and he already actually had a lot of the bands that I was interested in having perform playing at the Refinery. He's got Green Sky Bluegrass coming up for Halloween. Really excited about that one. But that was the type of music that had been coming already to the Refinery. Big Something, Susto. Um, there are a lot of great acts
Yeah.
here in the country.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of obviously this coming weekend, Miss Lori, what else can we expect at the Drifter Fest at the Refinery?
Oh, well, glad you asked. We have a lot of talented vendors that are going to be there showcasing their wares. We'll be there with our Drifter merch, but we also have a variety of vendors, and that includes Bright Star Designs. Will be doing jewelry.
Hmm.
We have a can cannabis candle company will be there as well as Shamelessly Alive is doing painted jean jackets with the music theme. They all kind of have a little bit of a music scene. Local Tree of Life is going to be there doing crystals. So we have a lot of different people there. So you can shop, you can walk around, you can eat. There'll be specialty cocktails. One of our sponsors is Jack Daniels Black Label, and they'll be doing some creative cocktails for us. We have High Seltzer that's going to be there as well. Cleats will be providing the food, which is a new restaurant at the Refinery. So there'll be a little bit of everything.
Oh, yeah, that's really amazing. And for anybody who wants more information on this, how can we go about that?
Oh, you can go to drifterfest.com and all the information's on there. The concert starts at 5 o'clock, doors open at 4. And it's definitely kid friendly since it starts so early.
Yes.
But it will go probably like 10:30 or so. Um, and we hope everybody will come out. And the tickets are on TicketWeb, but you can get to that link through drifterfest.com, and it'll have all the information you need to know. All frequently asked questions, the music playing. Oh, and I wanted to mention too
Yes,
that
ma'am.
we are also have a nonprofit element, which is Carolina Studios,
Mm.
and they are a cool organization who has school buses that go around town that are retrofitted with recording equipment. So it teaches children how to get into the music industry by going in and recording and cutting tracks and doing different kinds of stuff, all related to the music industry.
Oh man, that is really really amazing. That is really amazing. Well, Lori
And
Griggs
we'll be
with the
having a silent auction and raffle items benefiting them as well.
oh that's really perfect. We're looking forward to it. Well, Lori Griggs with the Drifter Fest. Thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome to Quintin's Close Ups.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome.